live in modern Homestead, Alaska. I'm Jessica, and today we are having a little what in the world, end of summer, time to get my life in order, garden harvest, stockpile decoration, tent wood mess do I have going on. Today we are going to tackle as much as we possibly can. No more talking, let's go. Let's take a quick zip around and see what kind of disaster we have ourselves into. Food storage that needs to be dealt with. Totes and totes behind me. I'm sorry about the lighting. I'll try and put up some lights as I record. I need to go through today and see what we're low on or what we're out of and do a stock. I'm immediately seeing low on different oils. So just different stuff as we walk around. And then projects. There are huge projects, boxes for the trash, and I dug through the decorations, got the fall decorations out, and then didn't put things back away. And so it continues. One of the big issues we have going on in the basement right now is we have all the drywall and we're getting ready for winter projects. The thing with Alaska is we need to do inside projects during the winter. And one of the biggest goals is to finish this basement. We want to completely drywall it. We want to get some flooring, and we have a couple of things that need to get done. Some electrical. We want to build a food storage room and a cold storage, as well as some place to store decorations and family keepsakes and such. So I have these huge piles of drywall just in the middle of the basement, but technically when it's time to drywall, they are out of the way. So that's why they're strategically stacked where they're at. And in the very near future, when we are able to build the shop, we are putting a kitchen on the side of the shop, a place to process really big animals or large quantities. So if you go dip netting fish and you bring home enough dip net fish for your whole family, to process that in the kitchen is very, very difficult and, well, kind of gross, and it smells everything up. We processed half of our son's moose in our kitchen. We don't want to do that anymore. So we're adding a kitchen onto the side of the shop, and some things that we have started to collect for the hopes and dreams of that room are this little antique wood stove. So other people found these things for me. The boys found that, picked it up for like $100 at a yard sale. It won't work, but it will be fantastic in there as decor and a place to store pans. But I need to do some refurbishing on it this winter. And then my mom and grandma found this. This is a 1870s icebox. So it was in a shop in San Francisco, California, and then the family moved it here to Alaska. It has two beautiful glass doors. We took those off for transportation to the house. This thing weighs so stinking much. Aaron and I barely got it loaded onto the trailer with help. It needs new rolling wheels on it. And the whole thing, we found it in someone's garage. It doesn't smell or anything, but it's got to be completely cleaned and refurbished as well. So that is one of my big winter projects. And then this will go in that outdoor kitchen as well. And so I just have some things collecting and piling up. And then all of our seed starting stuff needs to get organized, because the number one thing that's about to happen in this house, I'll tell you about that in a second, is that is our main heat for the entire home, and we have to be able to access that. And we got to start getting wood brought down here into the basement. We built all that out last year on the channel, and then Wyatt recently went camping, everything got wet, so it's all set up down here while it dried out. So I have a disaster, to say the least, and I think I'll just start in one chunk and see how far we can get. I think I'm gonna draw an imaginary line from this post, and I'm gonna deal with everything on the back side of it to that back wall, because believe it or not, once this tent is gone and taken back up to the garage where it belongs, I will have a huge open amount of space that I can use. So I grabbed a trash bag. I'm hoping to fill a couple of these and just get some stinking things out of here. And I might wear gloves. I'm gonna pop in a podcast and see how quickly I can get this side done. Okay, oh my goodness, one giant section cleaned up. We almost have access to this wood stove here. The temperatures here in Alaska, they haven't done what they have in the years past since we have been here. When we got here in 2021, in October, it literally was like negative temperatures. However, that was like record breaking, coldest it had ever gotten since keeping record. Anywho, you know, all of the craziness that can happen around here. Like, might have been November. It doesn't matter. It was super early. It was super early that it got cold. And let me just tell you, we have had a fantastic fall here. We have gotten snow just one time. However, looking into the temperatures, what is actually happening right now is next week, the highs during the day are in the mid to low 30s. So we're actually about to have those freezing temperatures all day long. And Aaron and I have to move past, we have a pellet stove that's truly back up. However, on days like this where it's so warm, I'm just down here in a long sleeve t-shirt and my house is not cold, and we haven't lit this fire at all this fall, headed into winter. So I'm not hurting. It's obviously not freezing in any way inside of the house. And so that's why we're just using the pellet stove when we need it. Then I can shut it off and the whole house is not saturated with heat. So that's my whole point of getting all of this done. These two, I have two of these that Aaron built for me. We'll have a third one this year as well. And our whole hope and dream is when we get this basement done, it is my seed starting area. So there's a seed starting cart that goes here, one that goes in front of that window, and then one will go in the farthest window that way, and then they get lots of natural, beautiful light, and we can do the, we have all the seed starting lights and all that fun stuff. And then this area is so warm from us heating it that I'm actually able to start my seeds down here without a bunch of additional heat. And then it worked out really well because you saw me probably pick up the hose and stuff. I have water down here in the basement. So I'm actually able to get all of the plants and stuff going. So now I'm just going to keep going, and I'm going to section off the stairs headed this way and maybe this general vicinity right in here. Let's keep going. All right, we are just scooting along. We got everything done here. See that? That is a big sled. There's the piece that attaches to it. Anyway, that is our winter sled and it goes on the Argo. And then it's also full of all of our ice fishing poles, the auger, the gear, everything we need. Our ice huts are in there, the whole 9 yards. And then over here, we keep tires inside. Those are my studded winter tires that go on the truck, and they'll be going on the truck real soon here. Look at these. I'm hoping with the lighting, maybe if I turn it this way. Okay. These are the incredible original glass, original doors to that, and then they latch all fancy and they have this bronze stuff on them, so you can see kind of the mold from the years of, you know, moisture and so on. So all this has to be redone and cleaned. So I'm gonna move these so they don't get broken here. All right, I'm gonna jump into this section here, and then I'm gonna combine this. So slowly I just move the trash can across the garage. There's a ton of garden stuff here that I'm trying to get on the rack so that I have all my garden stuff organized and ready to go in January when we start seeds again. And I don't want to be searching for it, first of all, and then if it were all outside, you're not gonna find that in the snow. You would have to buy new. So I really want to make sure all of this is taken care of, and I need to move that. Like, as close as it is to this door, bringing wood in, it is so in the way, and I'm trying to figure out where I can push it, whether it's like up against the stairs here or something like right in here. I have to move it somewhere where I could work on it, but also that it's got to get out of the way. We don't have a lot of access. So if you're like me, hit me with a thumbs up if you have garden stuff strung out everywhere, because as soon as it is go time on that garden, it is nonstop, and now we have to just put everything back. I got all of my onions cleaned up. They made a huge mess, and I'm gonna clean up the garlic off of this shelf as well. And then over there, I don't know if you could see it, that's all of the potatoes are drying out there as well. So not only is there so much garden stuff everywhere, there is onions and garlic and potatoes and vegetables and greens and everything that still needs put away for the winter time. And I need to find, I think I'll use that crate there for the garlic. Let's keep going. This is so much homegrown garlic. So these are the Alaska ones, and then these are the other ones, but holy cow, that took forever to get that done. So I'm gonna move these aside so I can clean here and then get these ready for storage. Okay, a whole nother section done. What I have over here is some sporting goods things like ice skates and baseball gloves and basketballs and footballs, you name it, anything the kids stuff basically. And then I have a tote that needs to go to the chicken coop. And now that the front room of the chicken coop's done and there's a shelf in there, I can store the chicken's feeders. I just need to find the lid to that. And then this silver trash can actually goes to the coop as well. It just has some wheat and some grains that had busted open. And then I'm gonna mix that with the chicken's food and then feed them that. And I'm gonna do one more section in this video. I have the decorations, but what I really think needs to be dealt with is the potatoes. And I think I'm gonna store them right here on this shelf with the garlic and onions. And then I think I'm gonna get a moving blanket and hang the moving blanket over this so it's not getting any outside light. And it's a great storage area. It's cool down here until we get the fire going, at which point I'll have to figure out what to do with the onions, the garlic, and the potatoes. But for today, I can deal with this mess. So when you pull potatoes out, they don't get direct light from the windows because the sun bounces along and then the sun comes in, but the potatoes are actually shaded all day long here. And I leave all of the dirt on, and that helps cure the potatoes. And now I want to dust the dirt off, check them, make sure none of them are rotting or we didn't actually put a seed potato on accident, or just any number of things that could be wrong. And then over here I have my rest of my planting, and then this other shelf. If I can deal with this and the potatoes, I think that's a huge amount of work done, because believe it or not, most of that's actually tidied up. Things just need to be put back in their place. Whew, we're getting close, girls. Let's get it. I headed back down for day 2. I thought, I am so close. It might not look like that on video, but I am honestly so close to just having everything put back in its place. And this little chunk, because obviously there's nothing I can do about the drywall and whatnot right now. And so I thought I will finish the potatoes today and finish running through the basement, doing the very best that I can with what we have, and see how that goes. Let's finish the potatoes. Let me just tell you, the potatoes was the biggest task in this whole video. That took hours, because what I did was I dusted the dirt off and inspected each potato. These here I rinsed, and I did so because they were kind of touching. There's a handful of bad potatoes. In fact, I had more bad potatoes this batch and dealt with them sooner than I've ever dealt with them before than I have in the past years combined. So that was super strange, and I don't actually know why that's what happened. But all of the rest of these potatoes are just fantastic. But when I was finding bad ones and I could kind of like get a whiff when I walked by, I was like, it smells like there's some bad potatoes down there. And it took literally since yesterday. And then the garlics, to trim these up, dusted the dirt off of all of these as well, and then dealing with the onions. This was the biggest task of the video, actually dealing with the farm fresh produce and getting it stored away. Now what I'm gonna do is I have a heavy duty moving blanket that's just sitting in the garage, has no use, but it'll totally black out the light getting to these things. And then these potatoes, I decided since I rinsed them, they don't store as long or as well if you rinse the potato. Therefore, I didn't want to put these in a tub and send someone down to help me with dinner or whatever. I know that I'm on a tangent, but I want to use these first since they've been rinsed now. But yeah, that's a huge, believe it or not, amount of work done. And so now we just have to clean up the dirt, roll some stuff around, and we're nearly finished. I cleaned up all the cardboard. I stacked some of it up there. I do save a few pieces. You know that giant debate on, but it's a really good box. It's a really good piece of cardboard. When I go to do this piece, I need some cardboard to go underneath it when we're trying to strip the mold off of it, when we're finishing it and doing the different things. And so I could get this flat and just have some great big chunks of cardboard. Our son got himself a deep freeze. That's leaving. That's going to go to his house. But when we were processing his moose, we needed a place to put the moose to freeze it immediately. And then he's going to take that home. And then he'll be able to have his own because he is such a huge contributor to the fishing, the hunting, and all of the different things around here. And then he can have that at his own home. But we just had to set it up here and deal with the moose, and now we can move it. So that's what that really heavy duty box came from. But that is gonna be a big help for me. So I'm gonna save that. I need to roll this. I think I might just put it in front of the other rack for right now. These are all my seed starting trays. Those are definite keep. Just need to go on there. Let's see. My food storage can be a little misleading or overwhelming, one or the other, but I'm gonna go through and pull empty buckets, and then I went ahead and pulled down, I don't think the camera was facing me, these 3 I need to take up to the upstairs pantry. We are almost out of a lot of different spices upstairs, and before I place an order, I want to see what I have on it. In these totes, they're labeled daily spices, which is just, you have to label things that make sense to you, but my way of labeling might not be right for your home. So use what makes sense to you. But these are, they go in a certain section of my pantry, and I know that. So they're garlic powder, chili powder, red pepper flakes. These are some dry jalapenos and so on. And then I have 2 more. One is baking spices, and the other one is things like panko breadcrumbs and cocoa. And get it, cocoa you would think is a baking spice, but to me it's not. A baking spice is clove, nutmeg, all of those sort of things. So that's what's in that tote. And then we're out of dark cocoa and some other things upstairs in the pantry. So I'm gonna set these over at the steps. That will be this next week's project, is filling out the pantry upstairs and then seeing what we need to buy, as well as while I'm down here, and now that I've made a 2-day project for myself instead of a 1, I'm gonna go through and see what's empty that we could add to maybe a Azure or a Costco. I have 2 empty buckets that need to be dealt with, and then I've made some notes of some other things and cleaned and organized. Da, 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 da. I'm doing the floor. I have 1 section left. This section may look a hot mess, but this is one of the simpler sections that I have to deal with. So I'm just sneaking by. Here we go. Okay, I'm just gonna get this done, and I've done it. I cannot believe it. I feel so much weight off of my shoulders. I cannot even tell you. So let me finish this so I can move on with my day. It's date night with Aaron. I gotta go get ready, do a bunch of other things, and I have laundry going, and my timer just went off, but I thought I'll finish this and then I can be upstairs and do the rest of my day. All right, it's time to take a quick look around. We are finished for now. What a huge difference from starting till now. It's still a basement, so it's not a finished space. It's not living space, and so I still have things set out that need to be dealt with or put someplace else. Oh, Duke, thank you. But yeah, look, everything's put away. It is amazing. We have all of the garden stuff stacked over here, and I can deal with this fully now that I have all of it in one section of the basement. And then the thing I think I've already said I'm most happy with is dealing with the year's worth of produce, as far as the potatoes and the garlic goes. We'll end up having to buy some onions. We didn't quite get a year's worth of those, but I am so excited to deal with food storage and to get the space clean. So if you decided to stick around all the way to the end of this video and you haven't yet, you should totally hit the subscribe button and ring the bell. You'll get notifications and they tell you when we post new videos. And with that, thank you for being here today. I hope that you find many, many blessings this week. I hope you find something to be grateful for, and I hope that you push forward and finish a project, even if it takes longer than planned, so that you too can take that weight off of your shoulders, off of your back, and out of your mind. I feel pounds lighter. I cannot even tell you. So thank you for that. I hope that I will see you in the next video. I'll talk to you soon.